Hi everyone, Jessica here from Paper Ink Stamp and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we're going to be talking about the offset functionality within the Loklik IdeaStudio software, and I'm going to show you just some practical examples of how you can use this and exactly how you can achieve getting an offset look. So you can use an offset for things like text, for images that you import into the software, onto just basic shapes. So for me personally, I've been creating a lot of cake toppers recently, and I use offsets to add layers to the cake topper, and I do this for a couple of reasons. One, because it adds a little bit more stability to the cake topper. If you've got lots of layers, I have foam in between it and it just adds a really nice thickness to the cake topper. It looks a little bit more professional as well. I cut the layers from a different coloured card, so you kind of building up that look of the cake topper, and again it just gives it that nice solid foundation to add on to, and then it will just support itself when it's in the cake, obviously being displayed, but also then again, like I said, it just looks nice as well. Sort of it makes it look a bit more professional. It just makes it look like it's not just one sort of piece of card or anything like that. Also, if you're creating things like stickers, then you can add the offsets behind that, and it's going to cut around your offset, which will give you that nice white border around your sticker that a lot of people like to have. So lots of different applications for why you're going to use an offset, and I'm going to show you there's two different ways of doing it. Whether you come to use the offset around sort of text and shapes, that's what I'll do in the program. We're going to use this button here, and then I'm going to show you how you can create an offset to an image that you're going to import into the system. So we'll start off quite simple at the minute. We're going to add an offset around some text. So again, when I do my cake toppers, I like to have a couple of layers behind my text just to sort of really help build it out and make it sort of pop a little bit more in your face, to sort of see that that's the name and it's being personalized for that special person. So I've already added some text to my mat. You can see here we're just going to use my daughter's name, and I've added some in a really nice font here as well. I did mention font and how to use this ungroup to layers to be able to manipulate your font in my previous video, and I will link to that one. I can do a separate video literally just looking at font on its own thing, sort of how you can manipulate it as well, so I might do that as well, so it's sort of in two different places. But yeah, I'm just going to leave this how it is. I'm not going to kind of manipulate this to have it all kind of touching or anything like that. I'm just going to leave it as it is for the moment. So we've got our text here. What I'm going to do is just change the color, because you'll find that most of the time your offsets and that will automatically be set to black, and if your text is black you're not going to see it. So we're going to add a simple offset around this name. So I'm going to select it, so you want to make sure you've got your layer selected. We're going to click offset, and then you can pick then the offset distance. This is in mil, and you can look at changing the corners to either round or sharp. So as soon as we start doing the arrows up, you can type in the number, or you can use this slider, whichever option works best for you. But if we start going up, you can see that around each of the individual letters we have got a black outline appearing. So this is literally just 1 mil, and you can see that it's going around each individual letter here. And if we start adding a bigger offset, so that's 2 mil, you can see it's getting thicker and thicker, and they're starting to join it together. So let's carry on going up. So you can see it's just getting thicker. I usually go around about 5 or 6, depends on how big the offset is that I want. So let's say if we do a 6 offset, you can see that it's now becoming sort of 1. So it's not going around each of the letters individually. It's now creating a full cut line. When we've confirmed this, we'll go to our contour mode, so you can see exactly how this is going to cut out. But you can see that it's just getting thicker and thicker. And then we do have the sections within. So the C here, you got this little tiny one between the E and the N, the O there, and between the F as well. That's all going to cut out. But we're just going to leave that for the minute, and we're going to come back to how you can fill those in if that's something that you want to do. So I'm going to leave it at 6. So we've got it on rounded corners. If we go to sharp corners, you can see how the corner pieces are changing. So again, you've got the round, or you've got the sharp there. I like how the round looks, but it really just depends what it is that you've got. As soon as you've picked that and you're happy with it, we're going to click confirm. And it's going to add it onto our mat. If we go into our layers, you can see that we now have a text layer, which is her name in the red, and then the offset is black and behind it at the bottom. You'll always find, it doesn't matter how many layers you have, it will always go right to the bottom. If you're working with a lot of layers, what I suggest is moving it to be just underneath your text so you don't lose place of it, and you can kind of move them around together. And that is literally creating an offset around your text. We can do that again. So let's click into our first offset, and I'm going to change the color of that again. So let's go for a green. With that now selected, we're going to do another offset. So we'll click that again, and you can see now around the green layer, we're creating another offset. So we're going to go up to 6 again. And you can see this is black within that little section there, within the O, within that bit between the F and the L. That is all filled in. So it's all going to be relative to what layer you've got sat above your offset as to how it's going to look. And we're going to again keep it with the round corners. We're going to confirm, and it's added that to our mat, and you can see we have then our next offset. So our black layer is at the bottom again, and you can literally do this as many times as you want depending on how many offsets you want to have. So it's really, really simple to add that. Again, let's just change the color. Let's just add one more onto here. Let's make that one blue. And then we can add another offset again to 6. Again, you can go as thick with this as you like here. For me, I've just sort of stuck at 6, and then we're going to confirm that. And there we have it again, the offset for you. And you can see then we've still got our gaps. So if you don't want to have your gaps under your first layer, we can look at getting rid of that. So if we go into our layers panel, I'm just going to hide all of the layers apart from the one that I want to work on, which is going to be our green layer. Let's just zoom in just a little bit. And the easiest way to get rid of these gaps here that I personally found is we're just simply going to take a rectangle, and I'm just going to really simply draw that over the areas that I want to hide. So I'm going to do that one there. And I'm going to do this one between the C and the E. What we're going to do then is select all of that, and I'm going to click Unite, and it's going to unite all of those little squares that we just drew into that back piece. Now, if we turn on our other layers, again, you can see that it's gone to the top, so I need to drag it down. So our actual Florence letters are as our top layer, and you can see now that we've filled in all of those gaps. That really is the easiest way to get rid of any pieces that you don't want to be cut out. Now, if we go into that contour mode, like I said, you can see exactly how this is going to cut out. Let's just zoom in again. So you can see we've got our outer layer, and it's really nice because it'll follow that contour of the shapes of your letters, or the shapes or the image that you are creating an offset for. So all of our letters are going to be individual, and you can see that this here with the F, the top of the F and the L, that's going to be cut as 3 separate pieces. Again, I showed in the last video, but maybe I'll do a separate video just talking about font and manipulation of font within this program, and it's going to cut out any overlapping sections as well. But then we've got all of our different layers, so let's just hide our bottom layer. So you can see that's how it's going to cut out our text. Then we've got our second offset is going to be cut like that. Then our third is going to be cut like that, and the fourth layer is going to be cut like that. So again, it's going to cut all of those layers nice and separately for you. So really, really simple there with that. So let's move this to the side, and the next thing we're going to do is create an offset around a shape. But let's just add a really basic shape onto here. So let's just add our star, and again I'm just going to change the color because the black is always the default, and the same as the text, exactly the same, we can just add an offset around this shape as well for the star. So with this, again, it's got the rounded edges because a star has the points. You could change that to be pointed as well, and it's going to match perfectly. Again, if we go into layers, you can see that my blue star is at the top, and then my black star, my offset, is at the bottom. So I'm always going to drag that to be next to each other. That's just a habit that I've gotten into, just to keep everything together and really nice and tidy. And again, with that, we can create another offset. So because it's black on black now, you can't see it. So let's change the color of this one again. So I'm just going to do just random colors here. And again, then we've got our next offset at the bottom. I'm going to drag that to be under the purple layer there. So you can just carry on doing this as many times as you want to get as many layers as you want to. And it's really, really simple to do. So now we're going to import an image into our software, and you can do your offsets in two different ways for this. So first of all, let's just come back to our mat and let's pull up an image that we want to use. So this is just some images that I've downloaded from Creative Fabrica, and I'll leave a link in the description box down below. They've got so many images on there. They've got patterns on there. They've got SVG files, lots and lots of things on there. So do go ahead and check those out. So we're just going to take this octopus here. I'm literally just going to drag it and drop it onto the program, and it's going to open this upload image. You can go into File and Import, or you can use the import icon on your toolbar and it'll do the same thing. So it's going to give us a preview of what we want to upload, and it's going to give you 4 different options of how you want to upload that that into your program. So we can just leave it if it's got a back on it. So if it's got a background, this is transparent, but if it had a background, you could just pull it in exactly how it is. You could do image matting, you could trace the image, or you can do extract contours. And this is what I do if I'm bringing in an image, because it gives me a lot of control over it. Once you've clicked it, you've got your cutout tool. So you've got your magic wand, your eraser, or you can crop it, and you're going to click the area that needs to be deleted. Because this has already got a transparent background on it, I don't need to do anything to it. I'm going to leave all these settings the same, and I'm going to click next. It's going to look at my image, it's going to read the colors and everything within here, and it's going to add a nice blue line around the outside, which is going to turn into our cut line for that image. And there you go, you can see we've got our blue line just around here. Then you've got 2 options. So you can either shrink or you can expand your outline offset. Okay, so this is extract the image's outer contour and import it to the canvas. You can cut the contour and print the image. So this is if you want to do print and cut. Again, this is what I do for that function, which will be in another video. So with this, you're a little bit of a distance away from the very outer edge of the image here. So if you want to have a tight cut for this, then we can shrink that down, and if we do it again, hopefully you'll be able to really see this on screen, but it's really given that tight line up against the outer of that image. If you want to go the other way, then you can expand it. So let's just expand for the minute. So we're going to do both ways, showing you how to create your offset. So you can create your offset within this program here. So I've clicked it, I'm not sure how many times now, but you can see that that blue line is moving further away from my image. You can see we've got a cut line just in here and in here as well. I'm going to leave it like that, and I'm going to click import. Okay, because you can see it's gone really big on our mat because it's just a big image that I've imported. And what we've got here is the outline. So in this lovely bright aqua color, we've got that here. If we go into our layers, we can see that we have 3 layers here. This one is our folder, so it's telling us that the images are grouped together. We have then the shape, which is what we've shrunk or expanded. And then we have our image underneath. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm just going to move my image to be on top of our aqua layer. So our aqua layer is the cut layer. What it's going to cut and where it's going to cut, and obviously then we have our image. So we have those 2 together. So we want to make that smaller. We're going to click on the folder, and it's going to do both of those together, and we could just zoom in a little bit. So you can create your offset like that when you bring it in, or you can just do it with your offset again. So let's just bring this image in a second time into our program. I'm going to do the same thing again, extract the contours, leave those settings. And what I'm actually going to do is shrink our blue line down so that it is pretty much on top of the edge of our image here. So we're going to shrink it. I think I need to do it 1 or 2 times. Let's just do that again. Like so. So you can see it's really nice and tight up against that image. And we're going to import this one. And then you can see the same thing again. We've got a new folder with our layer. I'm going to add my image above the shape, so it's on top. And you can see now that unlike this one here, you can't actually see that blue line around it. Let's just make this smaller again. So I'm going to click on the folder. I'm going to make this nice and small. I am going to ungroup this because it's in a folder. We know that it's grouped together. So I'm going to right click and ungroup. So to create the offset, I'm going to go onto the shape. I'm going to click offset, And again, let's go to 6, and you can see we're adding that black border behind it. And you can do the same thing again there we did with the rest of them. That is creating an offset. If, for example, you wanted to turn this into a sticker, so what I'm going to do is actually change my theme. And I did say this in that walkthrough video. If you're creating things like stickers with a white outline, you want to change your theme to dark because you'll be able to see it better. So my offset has come down the bottom here. So I'm going to lift this one up, and I'm just going to change that to white. What you can do then is to print this as it is. It's going to print with the white border. Then you can cut that white border as well. So if you want this to be cut out with that white border, you're going to leave it there being shown. You're obviously not going to see it when you cut it out on paper, but yeah, it's going to cut that out for you. So it's just a little bit easier to see. If you're in the dark mode, if you're in the light mode, you can't necessarily see it. So that is adding offsets, so around your text, around your shapes, and then how you can add offsets to images. So again, these are PNG files that I've uploaded into here, and it gives you the option then, a couple of different options of how you want to bring that image into the program. And yeah, this is just the easiest way that I found to do it. My personal preference when I'm bringing an image in, I will use this option here where I'm using that blue line all the way around it, and that is going to create my offset for me. So I hope you found this tutorial useful on how to create offsets and in different ways. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to subscribe to my channel, I have started a new series where I'm creating tutorials on how to use the Loklik IdeaStudio, and we're also going to be doing some practical demonstrations as well where you can follow along. So if you don't want to miss out on that, then hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and it'll notify you when I upload a new video. This isn't the only kind of videos that I create. I do paper crafting and card making here as well, but I am looking to add some more of these tutorial videos to my channel. So that's going to be it for this video. So thanks very much for watching, and happy crafting.